Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today I've got something a little bit special for you today. Now before we do a recording session for survival, we usually have a little bit of discussion about random different things, and this was just one of them. Now this is about space travel and some of the really cool aspects of it as we discuss it and talk about other people's theories on it. Now there's a bit of fact, there's a bit of fiction, but it's quite fun. You can comment along with it and listen to us as we yap away.
Cryogenics, it's theoretical possibility, and it's been done in lab tests, but it's never, they've never done it to a person.
Correct.
They've slowed people's
They've never
hearts
successfully done it. They've actually put people into what they legally cryo, but they don't have a way to wake them up successfully without damaging themselves. So currently they're just sitting in cryo until they come up with that technology, and they might never find one that works for the cryo they were put into.
I have to admit that, it's pretty ballsy.
It's pretty scary.
Well, it's usually people that have serious
issues.
medical conditions, and it's either that or death.
Oh, it's...
Then they're all just thinking, fuck it, if it doesn't work, we'll Walt Disney. Doesn't hit the jar.
Just so what were you talking about for that? For speed, for getting across the galaxy or wherever fast?
Well, if you're frozen in cryogenics, and it works, and I mean proper like zero metabolism. Yeah, fair enough, it would work. You could go to another, you could leave our solar system and wake up 1,000 years later in Alpha Centauri. Yay.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work still, would it? Because it just won't work, because you think about all the time, by the time you got there, the situation would not be the situation that you left.
Yeah,
What do you mean the situation will not be the situation you left?
No, imagine it's not like a permanent solution though. Yeah, the planet might be, like Scott said, the planet might be gone, or whoever was there might not be there anymore.
Yeah, it's not a solution, but you would get there. Right now we have no...
Well, you don't use it to get to a place where you're expecting to meet your friend. You use it to get to a colony for the first time you set up a colony.
Yeah, it'd be a one-way trip. You're talking...
This isn't I'm going to go visit my friend. This is I'm going to go set up a colony with these people, and hopefully everything we're guesstimating about this planet is correct. Hopefully we've estimated its trajectory through space correctly, so we'll end up at the right spot. It's the same thing if you go to the moon now, actually. It's not as complex, of course, because we can actually see the moon in relatively real time, but you have to, or even better, Mars is a better example, because you don't take off and go in a straight line from the Earth to Mars. Not only do you do loops around the moon or something like that sometimes, but you also actually have to aim to account for the gravitational pull that'll pull your ship towards it. So the same with getting to another planet in another solar system. You're not going to aim directly at it. You're going to say, okay, it's moving this way. We're going to have to deal with these gravitational things, so we're going to set off in that direction, which looks like completely the wrong way, but by the time you get there, 100 to 1,000 years later, depending on how fast you're going, you'll actually be at the right spot, theoretically.
Yeah, but with that method, it just sounds so like if one thing changes, that you'll be millions.
That's how it is. If one thing goes wrong, you die. That's how our space travel is right now.
Yeah, or you have a generational ship. You have a ship where people will born
but that
and
comes
die.
into the same problem where you have to deal with the lack of gravity and the lack of proper insulation also from radiation in space.
Yeah, you would literally have people that would never be able to come down to a gravity. They would literally...
What, they'd be that degenerated that they...
Well, no, they would evolve over generations, so you'd have people... The only way that would work... I remember reading this, what was it? One of Stephen Hawking's books. You'd have a generational ship where the people would actually start evolving from what humans are now, evolve to a state where they'd be different than humans, because they would evolve to adapt to over... You're talking generations to, and you'd have Group A that are going to be the family crew that live in ship, and Group B are going to be the popsicle people.
The popsicle people. Isn't it so funny?
You guys have seen WALL-E, right? It's actually the same exact thing.
Oh yeah, that's a really good example, isn't it? Actually.
So you would have people literally evolving, changing over time, be different than what the people are that are in the freezers. When they get to planet and those people disembark, theoretically, these people that have stayed on the ship would not be able to come down to a planet. It wouldn't be the same. They wouldn't be the same.
What do you think? Okay, then what do you think about this? Do you think that it'll be the next, like, like how they say people don't really evolve anymore because of medical care and such as things? Will space travel cause the next evolutionary step?
Possibly.
The next evolution is going to be brought on by human design, not natural selection.
You think natural selection won't weed people out. Well, like if you go to another
Natural
place.
selection is the main way that evolution has always happened.
We don't have predators. You know, it's always survival of the fittest. We don't have the ego that picks us off. You would maybe, your sage is right. What would probably happen in, if again we're talking, I'm still going to use the people in the spaceship that are going to be the ones staying in space. They would maybe, the natural characteristics of people would probably, there would be some natural evolution maybe. You're talking how far and how long. People that suit to space might do better. But I would also...
Well, if you think
not
about
be
it,
shocked
right,
if
they're
we'd
only
engineer ourselves
done
to
it...
do better.
Hold on. There's some issues here. The way evolution works largely isn't so much like I didn't exercise my whole life, and neither did my wife, so the children we're going to have are naturally going to be more feeble. The only thing that child will actually get is maybe the idea that both of you were lazy. That genetic setup that maybe makes you predisposition towards a more lethargic lifestyle. What would happen is if you actually had... But it's not actually going to pass on the traits of you being thinner or weaker, lest something actually changes on a genetic level.
No, my theory was, think about it though, but what sort of people did they pick for space travel? Healthy,
the best.
fit. So it is technically natural selection, but more...
But I know... Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
there would be
that's
some...
true.
You're right. But you'd also have the fact that... what's the word?
Evolve? Wait, it's very hard to find this word for you, Scott.
Mutations.
Okay.
Yes, you do run into mutations.
Random mutations. None of my family are dyslexic, but I'm dyslexic. That's a mutation.
Yeah, but probably you'd find that if you track that back, that it would run somewhere. A mutation is something completely new. Where that is probably somewhere in your generic...
Do your parents suffer from dyslexia?
Nope, no one in at least 3 generations, as far as we can tell.
Well, that is odd that it reappeared like that. It's possible that it was brought on by... Yeah, you're right, it's a mutation. But I doubt it came on just out of the blue. I bet there was some little tiny factor that brought it on.
So that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have
like a mutation is like a foot, like an extra toe. That is like something that won't be in you.
No. And mutations can be the most stupidest of things.
No, but I was just doing a more logical one that's very clear.
Yeah, but mutations. Looking at the Galapagos Islands, you have birds that have just got different beak shapes. That are the same species of bird that have evolved different. Have evolved different beak shapes because the different seeds are found in the islands, and they were only split from each other for a couple of 100 years.
And that's not so much mutation there though. That's not mutation. What that is evolution. They were split, and one group, because of the food they ate, found itself more inclined to mate with other ones that could more easily eat that food or something of that sort. And because it was easier to eat that food with a different shaped beak, they naturally sought out to procreate with other ones that had that type of beak. Over time, it became more pronounced, and the ones that didn't have such a pronounced new different type of beak died out. Therefore, what was originally two similar species of birds, because their food sources diverged slightly and they found themselves in need of a different type of way to process this food, over a long period of time, they evolved to look differently. That's how natural selection works. That's how evolution works. That's not a mutation. That's just actually how the evolution went, because one had a more pronounced version of the beak, even though originally it was an extremely small amount, like a tenth of a tenth, but that one managed to eat those new food sources easier than the other ones. Therefore, it was procreated with that. Therefore, the other ones began dying out until eventually those were the only ones that were really reproducing with each other anymore, and the other ones died out because they could not find the foodstuffs they needed or a mate.
Lots of films try to calculate, well, not just films, like time machine films and also spacey sort of films also try to work out possibilities. I mean, what was that film where they were talking about gravity as the way of travelling through different sorts of dimensions or whatever it was? Oh, it was quite a good film. When the humans are the last leg and everyone's eating corn.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's gone right out of my head. It won a couple of Oscars.
Interstellar?
Is it Interstellar? Yeah, that was a good movie, and that sort of factor of it was pretty cool.
You're talking about where they were trying to make the gravity propulsion thing to lift up the whole big underground facility. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any sort of. Oh no, I was just saying. I wonder if is there any sort of backing for that, or is that just like a purely film
I'm not
thing?
sure. Well, there's that fast FTL drive thing. that they don't know how to get it working, but they have. Well, I think they actually know how to get it working, but currently it would take so much monumental amount of energy. They don't know how to produce that much energy and sustain it. But basically, that one is more of it bends space-time. So it creates like a black hole. You understand that stuff gets pulled towards a black hole. It basically creates a denser area of space in front of the ship, so the ship begins to be pulled in towards that. And behind the ship, it also creates a lighter area of space, so it's pushing it away from there, so it moves the ship forward. Yeah, but technically, the ship isn't actually moving in this because, well, because you're bending time and space, not actually propelling the ship in any way. So usually when the faster you go, this time is going to slow down and your mass increases and it becomes harder and harder. You need more and more energy to increase your speed. Because you're not actually moving, you're just bending time and space, you will theoretically be able to go at insane, the speed of light, maybe even higher, because you're actually not moving at all.
Well, that is a mind-bending one.
Even though the stars around you and stuff are going to be moving, it doesn't act as if you're actually moving to the people on board. You're not going to get a feeling of moving, you're just going to see stuff start to move.
You also got another one.
Will it be like an elevator?
Possible?
No, because an elevator moves.
Yeah, I know, but you know you have that weird feeling. Like you feel like you're moving, but you are moving, but you're not moving.
No, you wouldn't get any feeling at all. It's like right now, you're sitting in your room, right? That's the same exact feeling you would have going at the speed of light. It's often the way it feels to things, but I think this version, you wouldn't actually feel it like gravity. Because it's a different thing than gravity. Because gravity does warp space-time, I believe, but this wouldn't, I believe, warp it. It's the same thing. I don't think that's actually based on gravity, though.
Then you've also got the wormholes, all
which
sorts
is what
of
they used
fun.
in Interstellar, was that the fact that there was a wormhole there.
Oh, that was
and which was a very interesting way of portraying the wormhole in that. Because often when you see a wormhole, it looks like a flat surface, as if it's just a portal on a wall or something, and you go through the center point of it. But theoretically, if a wormhole is created, it is probably going to be a circle. It's going to be a sphere. And every point on that sphere mirrors a point on the other side of the sphere, or at another place. So basically you have a sphere here in Galaxy A and a sphere in Galaxy B. And basically the left side of the sphere on Galaxy A is I believe it is the left side in Galaxy B, but upside down. So as you go through, you're instantly coming back out the other side, but on the other side of the other sphere, upside down, I believe is how that works.
There's so many possibilities, but again, a lot of it is limited by A, our understanding of physics, and B, our ability to produce power. Like the amount of power that they are talking to do some of these things would destroy the world. We just don't have that way of doing it yet. Another theory. And that was fact. And then someone comes along and says, nope, we found something new, a new element, a new way of looking at the universe. This is now fact. I'm never one person that will believe in that is impossible.
No, you're right. You're right. I think you're right when you say that, because I've heard that that story. Which one is the fact, isn't it? About the guys before said you could never do this, and then he just kind of said, well, I don't look at what other people have said is impossible. I look at what he said. He's a really good quote, isn't he, about how he says he doesn't look at what's impossible but possible. I don't know. Can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Sure, you'll
never
know.
Look at what is not doable, because honestly, our understanding of science is always changing. You know, we never thought there was anything smaller than the atom, and then we cracked the atom and went, oh shit, look, there's stuff in here.
I guess though, you're going back to the argument like we said before. Everything is down to time, isn't it? Time is everything, because time will. How long will it take to figure this out?
How long will it take to figure it out? But remember, what a lot of people forget, they're on a ticking clock. We don't know when the clock will run out. We actually can't even know when the sun might explode, but we don't know when an asteroid will hit us. We don't know when we will go to war with each other and blow each other off the planet. We won't know until a virus mutates and kills us. At some point, something will end us. Do we figure out a way to leave this one island to go to other ones and reduce that chance of something ending us? And we need to do it. You know, as far as Earth will die. There's if humanity stays on this planet, it will become extinct at some point.
Elysium. You're not saying that. You seen that Elysium movie where they have that
Yeah.
big station?
Awful movie.
It's an awful movie, but I think the idea could. I think that's an idea that rich and powerful people will go off and live somewhere safe.
Space America and the world is Mexico.
Yeah, it just tends to be like that.
There were so many flaws in that movie. It's like, oh look, it's hundreds of years in the future. They're driving cars on the planet Earth that are around today.
Yeah, but think about it. If sometimes things
There was
don't.
a Buick. There was a Buick that came out only a couple of years ago, and it set hundreds of time. Was a
Yeah,
couple of
but
years
come
ago
on,
when
you
the
saw
movie
that AK and they just
But-
stuck a little attachment on the end. I thought that was so
I know, but that's what I'm
stupid.
saying. It's like it's hundreds of years in the future, and they're still driving this car. That thing would have turned to rust and dust.
I don't know, but sometimes like you might think it might be stuck. They might be stuck at that one sort of evolutionary step, and the latest technology is not available to the the common everyday man. Because
I don't know, man. It's just
yeah, basically, I thought it was a good film. I liked it. You
it
know.
was an alright action film, but it had a lot
Set
of
in the
things
year
that bugged me.
2154, so it's only like 120 something years off. So you could imagine somebody keeping an old rubbish car working just like they do in Cuba.
Yeah, maybe in Cuba because the climate's so good, but you couldn't do that in any other place. I leave my bike outside for a fucking week and I've got to clean the rust off of it.
Yeah, but
You can do
think
it in
about
Cuba
it.
'cause it's hot and
probably
dry.
people have maintained and looked after that equipment. It's not like it's
Did
just
you
been
see
left
the world
out
they were
there.
in? The whole world was an ashtray.
No, he's right.
Yeah,
It
maybe
wouldn't
you're right.
maintain, but they were trying to save money. I think most of that film's budget went to the CG, which actually was pretty nice looking stuff.
Oh, aye. The bit where the guy's face melter was getting reconstructed, that was...
I love that
Wow,
actor. He's
that's-
so good. That what is he? South African. When he did District.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he's something else, that guy.
He's
Are you a
such
fan as
good
well?
bad
Are
guy.
you a fan as well? Yes, he's great. He's great.
I like him more as a good guy, but
No, he's not. He
Really?
plays the
thought
bad guy so well. And let's thank you guys for watching. Something a little bit different today, and hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. And I would like to hear your thoughts on what we discussed. Anyway, I'll see you next time.